Welcome to Alasquatch, the show all about Bigfoot in the great state of Alaska. I'm your host, Beans Baxter. So lace up your boots, zip up your coat, and come with me on an adventure as we explore all things cryptid in the last frontier. Hey Alasquatchers, here I am for one last episode before stepping on the plane and heading off to Metaline Falls for the Metaline Falls Festival. We're going to talk a little bit about the Metaline Falls Festival coming up, and I'm going to give you some info on that. A couple of things I wanted to go over first. We got some Alasquatch news going on. I wanted to talk about some things that are kind of going on in my area that caught my attention recently, and the first is we had a recent a bear attack here very close to the area where I do a lot of my researching. This was on the Hidden Lake Trail near Ski Lake and the Kenai National Wildlife Refuge. There were two campers that were attacked in their tent and by a bear. This happened a couple of days ago, just on Saturday, which would have been what day was that? That was the 12th, June the 12th. They don't know why the bear attacked or what kind of bear it was. They said it was a short, quick, in-your-tent attack. I guess it says they were camping in a dispersed area, which means I guess there's no official campsite there. It's kind of an area that's like right along the shore of the lake. I see people there all the time. When you're hiking on the Hidden Creek Trail in the summertime, you'll see people with their tents set up and camping there. It's somewhat of a popular spot. I've never camped there myself, but I've hiked Hidden Creek Trail many times. And in fact, one of my recent YouTube videos from I think about 3 or 4 months ago is actually the snowshoe squatching one. That's actually on that trail. And if you go back and watch it, I actually found some tracks in the snow that I believed were bear tracks. So that's kind of interesting. That was in the middle of winter, probably around January, February. I don't remember exactly when it was. But there's a lot of bear activity in that area. When I've walked that trail in the summertime, it seems like I've always heard or seen a bear. And it sounds like the people were all right. They were able to get out of their tent into a kayak, and they took the kayak up to the upper Ski Lake campground to the boat launch, where they met up with some people that were at the boat launch and helped them, and somebody called the ambulance on a satellite phone. And it looks like the Alaska Fish and Game went out to the area. They found the tent and a bunch of their camping supplies, but no bear was in the area. So the trail's closed right now, and they're gonna, I guess, check some of the DNA that they were able to get off of the camper's clothes and off the tent probably, and they're gonna see if they can tell what kind of bear it was. If it was a brown bear, black bear. Sounds like the campers don't know. I guess, if they don't know what kind of bear it was, that's kind of, I wonder if they even saw it. If it was just like clawing at them through the tent. How do they know it was even a bear to begin with? That's interesting. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. There's plenty of bear in that area. I'm sure it was a bear. But interesting fact about that area also is last year around spring breakup, there was a gentleman in that general area that went missing. They believe he may have been ice fishing and fell through the ice, but I was actually headed out there that day and got hung up in some mud and ended up knocking a hole in our radiator and turning around and going home. But anyway, that's one of the things you got to watch out for in Alaska, people. The bears are out and about, and they will come and mess with you. But the other piece of news I wanted to touch on, this one's kind of interesting. I was sitting on my couch the other day and I got an alert on my phone that there was yet another fire in the Kenai National Wildlife Refuge. This is a little bit west of where the bear attack occurred in another area. This is called the Loon Lake Fire. You can Google it and read about it on Alaska Fire Info. Looks like they've starting to get it under control. It started out as like a 2 or 3 acre fire and then ballooned up to 150 acres. And I think they've got it back down, knocked it back down a little bit. But interesting thing about this fire, this is very, very close to the area where the Swan Lake fire started. And this is like smack dab in what I consider to be prime Sasquatch territory. I think there's not any roads out there. It's hard to get to, and I believe this is probably a very, very good area. And I think if there's Sasquatch in that area, I think that is where they reside, is in that general vicinity. And I've heard some vocalizations and stuff coming out of that area before. And every time a fire breaks out there, I get a little nervous, because obviously I don't want the Sasquatch to get burned up or burned out of the area. And number two, I get a little excited because I'm like, maybe one of the firemen will see something or get something on video. They did drop in like a hotshot crew, I believe, the night the fire started, but I haven't heard any reports of anything being sighted. But it looks like they've got it knocked down. It's they've been dropping water on it and doing fire retardant drops. So just here we go again. It's bear season and it's fire season, and we had them both in the same weekend. But they think it was caused by a lightning strike. It wasn't caused by somebody being stupid out there with a campfire. There is quite a bit of lightning in that area. In fact, last time we were camping out in that area, we heard some thunder and heard that there had been some lightning in the area. We didn't actually see any that day, I don't think. Last year when we were there was a lot of lightning going on in that area. But I got a little concerned when I saw there was a fire there, because I thought, oh Lord, because the Swan Lake fire started out pretty small. And they do the same thing every year with these fires. They say, well, it's not threatening anything, and it's just that area hasn't burned in a while, so we're going to let it burn. So they'll ignore it, and then the winds will shift, and sure enough, like in a day or two, it's on the highway. It's burning. It's jumped the highway. It's burning everything. It's structures are in danger, and it seems like that's like the standard operating procedure. Is they'll say, well, we're going to let it burn, and then trouble happens, and the highway gets shut down. And fun fact, the highway is the only way I can get to Anchorage to get to the airport. So as soon as I heard there was a fire in that area, I got pretty nervous, because I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. They're going to shut down the highway, and I'm not going to be able to get out of here to get to the Metaline Falls thing. But it's looking like it's under control, and hopefully I won't have any problems getting up to Anchorage to the airport. And with that being said, it's just a couple of days away from me getting on the plane and heading up there. I'm sorry, heading down there, I guess. I have to go up to Anchorage, and then from Anchorage I go down to the lower 48. So I guess that's why I say up there sometimes. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. It's going to be this weekend. It is going to be starting here on Saturday the 19th, just a few short days away. If any of you guys or girls are able to head over and stop in, I think we'd love to see you. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I have some information here from one of the organizers that I am going to relay to you and kind of give you a rundown of what's going on, who's going to be there, list of who's who and what's what. So it says that in the morning, so Saturday morning, starting at 8 a.m., there's going to be a 5K fun run. I do believe there's a little bit of a entry fee to get into that if you want to do that. The doors are going to open to the Cutter Theater at 9. The presentations are going to start at 10. And in Buster Park, which is nearby, I believe, it says there's going to be over 50 vendors and street food. The fire department and sheriff's departments are going to be there, along with Border Patrol, joining on welcoming our friends and guests. Just FYI, Metaline Falls is just like 5 miles away from the Canadian border. That's why Border Patrol is going to be there, I'm assuming. So the speaker list includes Ken Gerhard from Texas, Larry Beans Baxter from Alaska, Kevin Llewellyn, who is a BFR investigator from Spokane, of course, Robert Alley, the author of Raincoat Sasquatch, which I'm going to have to pack my copy up, one of my copies up, and take it with me to get it signed. J.C. Williams from Georgia, Shane Corson from Washington and from the Olympic Project, Thomas Seawood's going to be there from Sasquatch Island, Russ Accord's going to be there from Expedition Bigfoot, Adam Davies, my good pal Adam Davies, is going to be emceeing the event. And I think he's also probably going to be on standby in case somebody can't make it to give a presentation as well. Leah Fisher from Boulder, Colorado. I guess she writes children's books on Bigfoot. I'm not super familiar with her work. Sounds like she might have some fun books for the kids, though. Will Ulmer, Stevens County, is going to be there, the Grassman. Special guest Tom Cantrell's going to be there. A Bigfooter from way back. Seth Breedlove from Small Town Monsters is going to be there. Brett and Tom from the Paranormal Portal podcast is going to be there. And of course, it looks like this is just added. It looks like on Sunday we're going to have Igor Burtsev there. Igor's a researcher from Russia and just recently made headlines with a phone call from Bigfoot, I believe, at a conference in Oklahoma he was attending. If you haven't seen that, you need to look it up. That's pretty interesting. Bob Gimlin's going to be there, of course, from the famous Patterson-Gimlin film. You don't want to pass up a chance to meet Bob. So if you can swing by there and meet Bob, you should probably do that. And it sounds like they're going to have some casts from the Bossberg track that are going to be there on display. And those are very cool. If you know anything about the Bossberg tracks, they actually were taken not too far from there in Stevens County. And those are the infamous Cripplefoot tracks, if you're not familiar. And also I wanted to just be sure to announce and get it out there that unfortunately Amy Boo is not going to make it. If you follow her on social media or are familiar with her, of course, you know what's going on with her. She's had some health issues, so she's not going to be there. She had planned to be there, but she's not going to make it. So we're hopefully I can get some of the guys together. We can FaceTime her and give her a good ribbing for not showing up. But anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be a great event. I'm going to have a table set up. I'm going to be selling books and autographing them there at the conference. We're also going to have some items from the website for sale. We're going to have some pocket knives and some patches and some stickers. I don't know if we're going to be bringing shot glasses or not. I think those are probably going to be too hard to transport. But we're definitely going to have the knives and the stickers and stuff there. So if you guys aren't going to be able to make it to the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival, and you've been eyeballing those knives on the Alasquatch podcast website, you might want to put your order in like ASAP, because I don't plan on bringing a lot of those back from the conference. I think we're going to sell out of those. So if you guys have been going to the Alasquatch podcast website, checking out some of the stuff we have, you've been eyeballing those knives, thinking you might want to have one put in your pocket, you might want to pick it up right now, because I don't think I'm going to have any more of those anytime soon. So I'm not sure what the cell phone service and internet service is going to be like in Metaline Falls. I may try and do some live streaming or something on Facebook Live or YouTube Live or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to check and see what kind of service and data they have available there. I think that probably if there's as many people show up as they think are going to show up, there might not be much cell service to be had. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but during like large events at sports stadiums like the Super Bowl and stuff like that, playoff games, that phone provider companies will actually bring in mobile cell phone towers to pick up the strain from the local towers for all the additional bodies on the ground and all the additional phones. So that's something I actually learned as a police officer when I was getting into digital forensics. I didn't realize that was a thing, but that is. They will bring in portable cell phone towers to set up in areas with large gatherings, large crowds, like sports events, stuff like that. Also, in natural disasters, when the towers get knocked down or get destroyed, they'll bring the portable towers in to take their place. So, interesting fun fact right there. So we'll see. We'll see what the situation is, and we'll plan accordingly. If not, maybe I can just get some video on my phone or on some of my cameras and post it later when I get back to the cell service. But anyway, guys, I wanted to just kind of touch base with you guys and let you know what's going on. Looking forward to seeing everybody that's coming to the Metaline Falls Bigfoot Festival. And also just wanted to remind everybody, the show is going to be dark for a couple of weeks. After the Metaline Falls thing, I am going to be going on some expeditions in the area and gonna spend some time down in Washington, go to some active areas and see what I can see. Hopefully I'll get some really cool activity to share with you guys. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, if it's going to be mostly video or if it's going to be podcasts, or I like to do both. I actually like to do podcasts and a companion video. I'm not quite sure. I don't get a lot of feedback on that. I haven't heard people say like, oh my God, I love it when you do the videos and the podcast and I can watch or listen to, get more information. But that's kind of one of my favorite things to do, because then, I kind of get to talk about it and tell you guys about it, but then I can also show you in the video. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. Who knows what I'll come back with. There's some crazy stuff that goes on in that area. And I want to go back to the area that we were in Stevens County when we filmed Bigfoot Encounters of the Pacific Northwest. And I got a little scared. Beans got a little frightened on an investigation in that area. And I got to go back and face my fears and see what's going on with that place and tell them what's what. So I'm going to head back into that area. I'm not sure exactly when, either at the beginning or the end. I think I might save that for the end and see what happens. I will keep you guys in the loop when I get back. It's going to be a little bit, but when I get back, I should have a lot of good content and stuff to drop on you. Also, I wanted to give you guys a quick update. We recently went camping, and I busted out my Napier sports truck tent again. I think last year I did a review on it. It was pretty positive. And I got to say, so far it's holding up. I think actually putting it up this time, I think actually took less time than it did the first time. But I think it was because we didn't, I know the first time we put it together, I think we had to undo a couple of things. We made a couple of mistakes or something like that. And this time it went pretty smooth. I think it went together pretty quick, and the tent held up pretty good. We were only out for a couple of nights. We didn't have any significant rain or anything. It did get quite a bit of condensation inside at night while we slept. First night was actually really cold. Second night was kind of warm. So got both too hot and too cold. That wasn't the tent's fault. That was just the ambient weather outside. But so far, the tent's holding up. I really like it. If you guys are in the market for a truck tent, you might want to check them out. They're a little pricey, but I think they're probably worth it. My wife is really happy with that extra protection of being up off the ground and inside the back of the truck. And that's not a paid ad or anything like that. I really think that it's a nice product. They're not giving me any money or anything, or any free stuff to say that. That's honest endorsement. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here. That was just a quick update of kind of what's going on in my world and what's going to be going on with Alasquatch for the next couple of weeks. If you don't hear from me, I will get back. I will post some more shows and some content. I hope to take a lot of pictures and videos at the Metaline Falls Festival and get that stuff up on social media for you guys. But anyway, you can follow us on the Alasquatch Facebook page. You can follow us on the Alasquatch Instagram page. I also have a TikTok under Alasquatch Podcast, although lately it seems like all I post is videos of my dogs. But be sure and check out the AlasquatchPodcast.com website. You can peruse all my shows, videos, stuff like that on there. And anyway, guys, I really hope that I see you on the ground in Metaline Falls. Swing by the booth, say hello, take a picture, buy a book, and tell me what you think of Alasquatch. I hope to see you guys there. And everybody be safe and stay away from the bears and don't play with matches, boys and girls. I'll see you later. I'll see you when I get back from Metaline Falls.